This is Jordan Tower with JT News. Make sure you smash that like button, smash that subscribe button. Okay, so I love Andre 3000's music. I do. And I think he's an interesting person. And probably such an interesting person because he's a super creative at heart. You know, like that's him, you know. And that's why he's so different. Mm-hmm. He can do whatever he wants. But, you know, I'm going to be on, like, when he puts out raps, like his most recent work was with Killer Mike on his album. And he was obviously inspired on that because it's amazing, right? Then we had the Kanye verse from a year or two ago. Those were good, you know, but I think he just has sporadic moments of inspiration, and it makes me think, you know, and it shows me how different him and Big Boy really were. They really went in two different directions, you know, like extreme different directions. Like Andre 3000, when he got some money, he got to grow in a different direction he wanted to grow in, you know, like more of a hipster type of direction, where Big Boy was straight up stayed to the streets, you know. And there's nothing wrong with that. I don't want to hear a flute album. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't. But who's to stop this man from making art, right? But I'm not that excited. Once I heard there was no raps on it, I was like, and I'm glad he was honest about that. But he said sometimes it feels inauthentic for him to rap. I don't have anything to talk about in that way. I'm 48 years old. Yeah, but when he does talk, when he does rap, it's his perspective on things, and they're different now, you know? They're different from 90s Andre 3000, even early 2000s, you know? You kind of saw the difference when, I think that was their last album, the double album, when they, you know, he had his album, Big Boy had his album, they put it as one. I mean, one of the top selling rap albums ever. But, you know, it's like, I think he does have a lot to offer, even on a EP, you know, but who's going to inspire Andre 3000, you know, to do that, you know? I don't know, you know, but he's his own artist, so he'll tell us best. Now, talking about new music, we got Drake, Scary Hours 3 Midnight. Drake, this tells me Drake knew his last album was trash. I don't care if he admits it ever or whatever. For the Dogs, wasn't it? That should have been called Spooky Season. It just wasn't a good album. It's forgettable. There's a couple songs on there that stand out, maybe 2 or 3, right? And then the rest is like, it's mid. For Drake, you can only compare Drake to Drake, just like you can only compare any artist to their past works, right? You don't compare them to everybody else. You compare them to their work, you know? You got to hold them at a certain standard. Drake, I think, has been working the past couple of weeks to try to... He's losing the people. I don't know if you feel it, but I feel like he's losing people. That for the Dogs album, it didn't sit well with people. I think he's trying to redeem himself quickly, too. He knew he couldn't go into 2024 with this. I bet you that Nicki song comes out on this. And I bet you, you know, he needs to do, you know, you guys can say whatever you want. Drake and J. Cole should do an album. Drake and Lil Wayne should do an album. That's what should be happening. He needs to get back into that, be challenged. Lil Baby's not going to challenge him. 21 Savage isn't going to challenge him. I don't care what you say, you know. And you know, we don't want this. Yo, some people actually believe that. But you know what? We're at such an age gap now between where I'm at in life, where Drake's at in life, and where the young kids are at, like 20. I mean, there's almost 20 years now at this point between those people, that are that generation that's listening to music, and they consume music way differently, and it is what it is, They like Young Boy, they like Trippie Redd, but who knows who they really like? You know why? Because as Spotify's come out with, labels and distributors are going to be hit with fines for their fake streams. So 90% of these artists have fake, 90% of the plays of some of your favorite or some of the artists you think are popping are fake, fraudulent. That's a lot. Russ even comments, 90. The brainwashing to convince sheep that some things are bigger and better than it is wild. I mean, these are people that are like going to Rolling Loud and performing off of 90% fake streams. That is crazy. You have to question everything in this technology age. You had to back in the early 2000s. Still, there was a lot of fake stuff going on. But I'm going to tell you, since Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and everything really became prominent, I'd say like the uptick of fake stuff really happened in like 2014 and 15. That's when like technology really took a stride. It took about 5 or 6 years for people to really adopt these things into companies and kids to start new channels and create the whole thing. Like, you have to question everything now. Everything. Then we got LaTroy Davis says he fears for his life. This is the guy that Christian Rock. So there's a guy, I forget the guy's name, that Christian Rock punched in the face. This is a guy that's friends with that guy and spoke out for him. Well, now deranged Christian Rock fans, these are the women that are lifting Christian Rock up to stay relevant because they want to watch her crash out for their entertainment. Well, they're going to his house. They're just going at this guy. It's crazy. They're threatening him and telling him to shut up. They want to keep that deranged girl going. Snoop Dogg says, after much consideration and conversation with my family, I've decided to give up smoking. Please respect my privacy at this time. Now, this tells me that Snoop Dogg has some type of health scare going on, probably with his lungs or something. He won't come out and say that because he doesn't want to speak badly about the weed culture. He does have a weed strand and all this stuff. He doesn't want to, so he's giving it up for a reason. He's not just giving it up. There has to be a deeper reason. So we'll see. I mean, that's a conspiracy in itself, man. But to be honest with you, because you never thought you'd see the day. I mean, people do. It has to be because of something. And then Cardi B speaks in defense of Will Smith. We'll get to that on the next one. This is Jordan Tower, JT News. Smash that like button. Peace.